Alright, this is Infinity Counter and I'd like to welcome you to my first C++ tutorial and my first tutorial overall. And I'm right here, right now I'm in the Dev C++ IDE Integrated Development Environment, and this will be where we're writing our source code. And since this is the first C++ tutorial, we'll be doing the simple hello world program. If you don't have a compiler, there's a list of compilers in the description. I'd recommend Dev C++ if you're a beginner. You may want to switch later on to a better IDE, but for now Dev will do. So the first thing, go to his file, new source file. Alright, to begin every C++ program, we'll have to include the header file, which in this case is iostream. Now in C++, the header file that you'd use most often is iostream. iostream contains a list of functions that will be used throughout the program. A function aids in programming. Instead of having to write out long, complicated segments of code, you can just use a simple function to carry out that process. Alright, so the second thing you have to write is your entry point, which in all C++ programs is int main. Now the entry point is where the program starts executing. All code in between the entry point function is executed when a program begins. At the end of the entry point function, the program terminates, and that's it. So only what you have inside the program will actually run. Alright. Okay, what I have out here right now is std_cout hello world. std_cout is a function that can be found in iostream, which prints anything written or any stream being put into it to the screen. Now this function std_cout has to be written exactly like this. If it's written any differently, it won't work. Right here we have our arrow operands, which indicates which way the stream is going, and our stream is hello world. What a stream is in layman's term is data flowing in a direction. So this is basically saying the stream hello world goes into cout to be printed to the screen. Now this entire line is called a statement. A statement commands a program on what to do. Now the statement here, std_cout arrow operands hello world, ends with a semicolon. All statements in C++ end with a semicolon, and I think it's like that for all C languages. So yeah, always put in your semicolons. Now these quotation marks around hello world say it must be printed exactly as is with no change. So anything in quotation marks is printed exactly as is. Alright. The next line is return 0. Now 0 is your best friend in C++. 0 means everything is okay, your program ran perfectly, and that there's no error. Any number besides 0, you got some fixing to do, there's a problem somewhere. So this line basically says the function int main, remember that's your entry point, returns 0 at the end. If it doesn't return 0, there's a problem somewhere. So that's just a check. It's not necessary, it's a check, and it's very standardized, and it's a good practice to use the return 0 at the end of your programs. Alright, this program is basically the complete hello world program. It's the simplest program that you could probably write in C++. So we're going to run this now and see what we get. Let's save this as test. Save. Yes. Alright, you saw that flash on the screen a while ago? That was your program. As I said earlier, Dev C++ is kind of stupid. You have to tell it to pause so that you can actually see the application window that was just opened, or else it will just zoom by like I just said. Other compilers like Microsoft Visual Studios and CodeBlocks don't do that. They allow the program to boot up and you can save, and that's it, and then they'll wait on you to close the program. To fix this, I have to include the system pause line. Now traditionally system pause is a no-no. If you're going to show your code to anybody, a professional, get that out of there. That's not a good practice to write. But just because we're using dev right now, it's fine to write that. So basically, I'm going to read this program. Include IOStream. This includes the header file IOStream, which contains all the functions you will need in this program. Int main, the entry point, the int main function, which is our entry point. All code in this segment is executed to create our program. std cout. This is a function from IOStream that prints any stream inserted into it and onto the screen. The arrows indicate which way the stream flows. Hello world is our stream. That entire statement ends with a semicolon. System pause tells the program to wait before it flashes off the screen, and that also ends with a semicolon. Return 0 checks if the program executed perfectly and then ends with a semicolon. So let's execute this program and see how it runs. Now the program executes as we wanted. It has the hello world, press any key to continue. But the press any key to continue comes from the system pause. To get rid of that, we can't actually get rid of it, but what we can do is move to a new line. As you see, it's conjoined and it looks congested, so we'll move that to a new line. What I'm about to enter is an escape character. New line, /n stands for new line, and it's an escape character. Escape characters move the cursor to a new line where you'll begin to write again. There are many escape characters in C++, which we will deal with in greater detail later on, but for now, new line is good enough. So we're going to execute this program and we're going to see again. I'm sorry. So we're going to compile and run it a second time. See, the program executes perfectly just like we wanted it. So that's not the greatest program in the world. It's okay. So we're going to develop on this later on. I'd like to thank you for watching. This is Infinity Contour's first video, and if you're looking for questions, you can PM me on YouTube. There's a link to my forum where you can PM me, or you can post things that you want to know. Another moderator will answer if I'm not able to answer. If you're interested in C#, I have a friend's link at the end of the video. His name's Skylight now. Great videos. And also, if you would like a book to read, which I know some people learn better from books, I suggest Let Us See, which is a great book. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Thanks very much.